Hello, plant hoarders and friends. You guessed it, right now we are on a side quest. So, as I mentioned before, we're going to make a little place to put the Polaroids. Sorry for the slopping, that is ghosts. Really, right now, anywho's, I thought they were plain, so I wanted to put a little design on them. This is what I kind of came up with. I want to just do vertical lines right here going down. So the hardest thing, at least for me, is the first line. I tried to do like some practice rounds to kind of get like the flow within my hand of like the vine, so it's not too scribbly or too straight. So here I go. Alright, that's my first line. Alright, let me put the rest in. So this is what I have for lines. And so now I'm just gonna randomly put these, like maybe I might spread it out a little bit more, have some cluttered in some spaces, have it not. I'm gonna work from the middle out so I can kind of work together where the leaves are gonna be here. Oh my god, these puppies! Sometimes I love them. Sometimes I want to drop them off at a shelter. Time out. I would never, by the way. It's just that feeling I get sometimes. Okay, so we're going to start in the middle. I thought it would be kind of cool to make it look like it's going off, so maybe the first one. Trying to ignore them as much as the best I can. So, and then a little line. And so I thought the shading would go on the top part of the leaf on the left side and on the bottom on the right, and then the opposite on the other plants. So for example, just little hatch marks. Very, very simple design. And then so we're making these leaves. I'm starting from the stem. Then do a little this. So kind of like that. And the way I do, I start from the stem, go into the leaf, and then do the other half. Now I'm gonna try like the little niblet things. There goes all that. It's kind of making a mini leaf. At the end. Kind of messed up, but you just filled in, go with it, right? It doesn't really look like I did. I wanted that one a little thinner, but that's how there's like some opening flowers, there's long ones, and then you just like all the way down and the opposite way. So let me get these two lines done, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm almost finished with the first line. I'm just gonna add like a little nub in here and a longer little nubbin. And then over here, I want to do a quick little flower moment, which I just been doing an upside down triangle and then like little boops, boops on the side. And then we'll do a leaf and we'll act like there and boop, 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 boop. Okay, so here we go. I wanted to stop. I know I said I was going to finish both lines, but I messed up on here and flipped like which line I was shading. But this is literally just the background, so I don't think it's very important to get it right. Like if this was, you know, a focal point of any piece of yours, then yeah, but eventually pictures are going to be covering it all. I just want it to look kind of nice until it does get covered. So I'm gonna probably make this and done. Boom. So there's the background of one. Let's do the second one. So this one, I think I'm just gonna go diagonal and really big leaves. Time for my chisel. Yes, this is normal. Okay, that's that one. Now what to do with this? I was thinking about getting rid of the butterflies altogether. You know what? Let's try to remove everything and, yeah, let's see if we can salvage. A lot of the cork is coming off with this. So I got these at the dollar store. I just wanted to make use of these because they've been sitting around, and as you can tell, like I started something and I did not finish it. I did not finish it. This is what it looks like behind the butterflies. Thanks. And these are like paper leaves that I put on it, which I was thinking maybe I could outline those and salvage those. Like 3D versions of the flowers or the leaves that we made on the other one. So I have this barking collar that sprays out citronella, and I think I might need to get that. But that's what I did to the first one. Let me do it to the rest and see if it saves it. I mean, not horrible. I'll join them with a vine. Maybe put, yeah. Sorry about the lawnmower noise. My roommate is mowing the lawn, and that window blew out one storm, and so no closing windows. Yes. Okay, so I messed up on this. I didn't like how the vines and how they were attached looked. So I wanted to make it face like a different direction. And I figured since it was water-based, it would slide up. And it did. Awesome. Alright, so let's outline them first. Let's outline them first. And I have a mic somewhere. I do. But like, it's buried. Maybe one day I'll get motivated, like when I'm doing a far away thing. But right now I think it's fine. Okay, so I'm gonna finish outlining the outside and we'll see what it looks like. I'm gonna use my chisel. These are Royal Langnickel chalk markers. Boop, boop. I got it at Michael's. Alright, so let's finish. Let's finish what we started. Should I just have this? No, because... Alright. Super glue time. I like this gel super glue because it lets you mess around with it because it's a thicker consistency. That's what I'm using. So I'm just gonna put this leaf back because it's already bent, so if, when I laid it flat, it just wasn't lining up. So we just hold there for a little minute. I forgot to hold it down. I was spacing out and just wondering where I should put this vine, if I put any. Let's outline this one while that one holds, dries. Alright. Outlining. Sounded like the Sega logo. Sega. I used to love playing Sonic. Like, purely just the collection of rings, and it's just so, the sound was always satisfying. Love it. This one I'm going to try something new. I don't like the paint on this either. Yeah. Alright, so some of these had like, you know, the dot shading, so I'm going to try that. So I definitely love art. I love creating things. Working with mixed medium right now is pretty cool. On my Instagram, that's where I post most of that stuff. if you want to see me in the process that I do making these type of art projects, let me know. Let me know, man. Because nothing's better when someone appreciates your art, you know? It's been weird being back in upstate New York. I've been here 3 years. Been back here for 3 years now. I was living in Oregon last, and I had a really cute apartment on Tabor. Everybody would make fun of me because, like, okay, East Coast in your hard days. I was like, Tabor. Tabor Mountain, where there was a dog park 3 minutes away, surrounded by, like, rich houses. But I was in this, like, tiny little studio, just Dex and I, and the florals in the air. I have one plant left that I got from the side of the road, that on the side of the bucket, it said $80. Like, rich people throw out the best stuff. I also got a Chinese money plant from that. It was thriving until, I mean, there was a lot of moves, and it started not doing so well when I moved out of my mom's. But, you know, stress can do that to a plant, right? I tried saving it and propagating and this and that. And at the time, unfortunately, it wasn't my top priority. And that happens. Life hits you, and sometimes a plant dies, you know? It's not the best, but you can't help what happens to you, you know? It's what you do after what happens is what counts. Being proactive in betterment of life. Or find something that's worth making your life better. For me, it's my dogs. I want a place where they can run free instead of, I've been renting rooms, which thankfully, you know, staying here, they allowed my dogs, and I had to find a place quick. So this is kind of what I got for that one. Maybe I'll do like diagonal ones. I'm just digging lines right now. Okay. That's what I did. I like it. I think I'm gonna do it to this one and this one, and then just do something maybe on the outside of this. I'm doing more dots because dots are fun. Dots are fun. I have the stippling shading done on my feet. It's kind of like, and then I have stars, like a negative, not filled in, and surrounded by the dots. I did it to make my feet look better, because I never liked the look of my feet, but now I injured them and they look the ugliest. And so now I'm grateful for what my toes were. I'm going to tell you now, I'm going to find the things I say way more funny than you are. Guarantee it. I laugh at myself often. Yeah, just some dots on this side. Let me do the rest and I'll get back to you. Okay. So there's that one. So this is what I did with this board. I think it turned out pretty cool. Way better than it was. Obviously, I still need to come up with a plan with this side. I was thinking of just maybe layering like some paper over it with some Mod Podge and like paint it a color. Let me know what I should do with this one. But these two are done, and so I'm gonna hang them up and then I'll show you, and our side quest will be done. Okay, so while I was over here, I came up with a plan for this. Also, I think this is how I'm going to put them together. So my plan is to use this extra stiff Mod Podge. It's fabric stiffener. I want this to be like really stiff, right? I'm just going to take off all this extra bit that's falling off anyways. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I ripped up some papers. They are from they're just sketch thin type paper. What I'm going to do is kind of glue them on like randomly so it kind of looks patchy-ish. Let me go ahead and do that, and then I think I'm gonna be wild and paint it pink, and I'll show you, I'll explain why after I do this. Alright, so I'm just putting some Mod Podge in here. I got some pink on it. In my other art projects, I use a lot of mixed medium and I use paper. I usually use watercolor paper because I like the texture on it, and I like how thick it is. It's easy to control the manipulation of it to turn into petals. If anyone's interested in checking that out, that's also on my Instagram. I do plan on doing a next one. It's gonna be, I forget, on brand, I forget what the flower is called. I think it might be a violet, but it's very papery, like thin, delicate petals that like go up, and yeah, I want to do that. And I got a different texture paper to kind of like, because this is like a smooth, delicate flowers. I haven't worked with this paper in this way, so we'll see how it goes. Like I said in one of my videos, Jazza, if you never heard of them, look them up. I'll put them in the description below. Also, subscribe and like his videos and my videos. But yeah, he explores new mediums and new things, or new art ways, and he just dives into them even if he doesn't know them. So it's just good motivation, you know, when you think like, oh, I'm scared to do this, and you know, you have people like that are like, I don't know what the frick I'm doing, and they do it. Those are the kind of people I aspire to be, and I'm working on it. So I'm just continuing layering these ripped papers. I'm gonna put like little sticky things. I have them somewhere so they just like stick, so I don't have to use tacks for it. The reason why I'm using the stiff Mod Podge that I have instead of just the regular is because since it's gonna be you know, a tack board, I really want it to be as stiff as possible. Have some integrity as we push the pictures of our plants. Our proof of knowledge. This is going to be our proof of knowledge board. It proves that we have learned that plant and we're now experts. Alright, at least novices instead of hoarding. Like, the more plants we know, the closer to being an enthusiast that we are. So of course there's going to be many layers. Why did I do it up here instead of, you know, on a table like a normal person? A neurotypical person? This just made sense at the time. Alright, so that's going to be the first layer. I'm going to wait for it to dry, and that can be, and then I'll do a second layer. Can't do two things at once. There's a tiny hole. I need to get it. I need to get it. Ba-da-da. Ba-da-da. Oh my god, it's driving me nuts. Alright, I think that concludes our side quest. Let's do the final looks here. See what we got. Alright. So we got this and the paper I put on. I think it's a nice contrast with, I think it's really cool. In fact, let's put our stack horn back on. And then I will take a picture of our terrariums, and those will also go up there. And I label each one too. And I mean, side note, yes, it's a cool idea, but also it helps me keep track of the ones I've already done without having to look back at videos or whatever. Alright, so I hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you later with the staghorn. Hello. Okay. Try this again. Good morning, plant hoarders and friends. How are you today? So, what I'm gonna do today, right now, side project, blah, 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 blah. So this morning we are on a side quest. Alright, so the side quest is...
Enough! Both of you!